my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So today we have Halloween wrap up, our Halloween mystery, and it's Windjammer Day. So let's do Windjammers first. Halloween and Windjammers. Weird combo, okay, right? So Windjammers. Windjammers are fancy sailboats. That's what I think of them. You know, they're the big sailboats would have the great big multiple sails on them. And there are some, I know there's some cool cross stitches, and there was a long time ago a really beautiful applique. It's called Ladies of the Sea, I think, that was by Sue Garman, which was a lot of really fancy Baltimore album style blocks with sailing ships on them. Very, very fancy. I don't know if I ever bought that pattern, but it's a gorgeous pattern. So I have simple sailboats. So I'm going to show you mine, because if you have a sailboat quilt, that's what you're going to show today. And I've put sailboats on a bunch of different things over the years. This is one of my older ones, so it's done more in the muted folk art colors. And let's see, it is, here we go. Ta-da! It's called Lakeside, which Windjammers, I believe, probably don't go on lakes. They're probably more seafaring ships. But I did Lakeside because mine's a sailboat, a simple little sailboat, and with all the flags. So I really enjoyed designing this years ago. Well, I have a little story. So when I made this originally, I took it to the trade show. So here we go. So when I made this, I had it at the trade show, and it was hanging in my booth. And I got a call after the trade show from the Fons and Porter, at the time the Fons and Porter TV people, who now are the love of quilting. But back then it was Liz Porter and Marianne Fons that were the people who ran the show, and they had a magazine with their name and everything. And so the producer of the television show said she'd seen my quilt, and she wanted to know if she could borrow this for the TV show. Not me and the quilt, just the quilt. The quilt's got better gigs than I did. So I'm like, oh, that's so exciting. When is the, when do you need it? So she told me, I'm like, ooh, I already have it on loan somewhere. Could you change it so mine could come another day? The television producer said, no. So I went, let me call you back. So I got off the phone and I went over to Greg, and I'm like, da, 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 da. And I said, you know, what am I going to do? And this was a long time ago. And Greg says, make another quilt. I'm like, oh my gosh. So what did I do? I made a second one of these. So I actually have two Lakesides. This is the original. I believe I may have already donated the duplicate, which was all fusible applique, and that's what went on the Fons and Porter show many, many years ago, and it was also in their magazine at the same time. So you may have seen this in the Fons and Porter magazine a long time ago, you know, 15, 20, probably 20 years ago. So hopefully this is a pattern. I do have it as a digital pattern on my digital pattern store, so you can get it if you want to make yourself. Even if you do 4 blocks, it makes a super cute wall hanging with the 4 sailboats and the 4 flags. All right, let's talk about our spooky and sweet now. The Halloween. We have the layout. Layout options, 2 options, a square and a banner. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how those are when you put them up, because that's how it looks. That's how my brain works. I need to see it up on the wall. So with 4 blocks, you know, there's only going to be so many ways you could set this. And a bunch of you even set some of them like it was going to be just to put them up on your design wall, because, you know, how many ways can you set these 4 blocks? The banner is kind of calling to me. Now this one, if I do it this more like a square, it's a little bit longer, so more like a rectangle. But if I do it like this, it does fit in my kitchen area. But I already also have other things that fit in my kitchen area. So, you know, but I really don't want to. I could add maybe a tiny little border around it. If I wanted to add maybe a bit more purple or something like that. It already has a gray border. You take the gray background and pull it out. But you could, you know, make a tiny little inner border of gray and then a little border of another color if you don't want it any wider, or if you have space, you can make it a little bit wider. Okay, so, but what does it look like as a banner? The banner is long, 65 inches, but remember where I showed you the flamingo, Flo the flamingo last week? That place next to my front door is perfect for something like this. Okay, so how does it go? So the Glenda the ghost is up there, and then go the stars. Okay, I've got that little strip, which I never did sewed in there yet. Then the star, little stars, big stars, and then Eddie, our vampire. There's Eddie. Okay, so there is the banner, and that ends up with also a little border around it, right? Let me get the other camera real quick because we can see it better that way. Okay, that looks really good. What do you think? The banner, it is super cute. It is super cute. And you know, going down my hallway, like I'm just going to look from here. I can't actually see it from here, but it would be just to the left of the door. So like as I'm going out there to do things, you know, I would see it all the time down there, but I wouldn't, the other way, I would be having it right there. Well, such decisions, right? Do I go ahead and do the banner? I mean, the banner's different, and I don't really have anything for that spot. So even though I super love it with them kind of all tucked together into that square, I think I'm going to do the banner. I think I am. And I don't think I'm going to do any extra work, because based on our conversation last week and based on what I'm working my plan, I do not want to spend my time on things that are not super important anymore. Like, if it makes a huge difference for me to have a border, like it would make me immensely happy, or something's already perfect. But you know, I'm thinking I am just going to let that go and just do it. And I will do, I think, a wave stitch just to have it finished. And that will be that, because it's a fun piece, but it's not like a masterpiece that I want to put some more extra work in, because I would like to do the Liberty box. I would like to work on that. And I'd also like to work on this one. So goals and plans. And I really have to be super focused anymore for myself to do the things that are important, because it is my sort of whole work schedule is so different than it used to be, and just my making schedule, that now I have to be a little bit more aware, because I have a little bit more freedom. I could spend a bunch of time doing extra things to this, but that isn't where I really want to spend my time. You know, I have to remind myself of those things every so often, because I have all those bindings to do, right? And I am getting back today something from the spa. I can't remember if it's one or two things, but that means those will get binding first before I go back to the stack of older ones. But I have a win. Oh, first, let me show you the clip. It's the Will You Be My Neighbor that I showed you. Here, watch the clips. Here is that one label. Remember, it's just a panel, label panel. So what I did is I folded under a little bit on the top and then the one side. Then what I'm doing is I'm right here at the back of my quilt, at the Will You Be My Neighbor. This is the back side, and I will take the raw edges on the side and the raw edge on the bottom and line it up with on the backing. Then I'm going to take one of these cute little labels, and I'll put that there so that it will get all put into the binding when I put the binding on. And then I'll hand stitch the two sides that I turned under. See, there's the turned under sides. So I'm just going to use the Wonder Clips here, clip them, and then do a little basting glue under there. So here's the Wonder Clips, just enough to hold it, because I'm going to be sewing the binding on. And then I use this tacky glue and just put a few dots under here and a few dots under there. And the quilt! Ta-da! 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 There we go. There we go. And the hanging sleeve is actually stitched down. So all I have to do is write on the label. I'll show you the label in a second, the finished, but it is stitched down. I just haven't written on it. It was sitting here to write on it and I haven't done it yet. But it's got the little snow globe. Whoops, here, let me just put this down so I can hold it better. There, see, it's that little, it was a panel from somewhere and had little labels, and then I have that guy, which I think is super cute. I think those are super cute. They're little, just little extra touches, those little tags that I think people get really excited about who look at it. Like my family, if I give them a quilt, the first thing they do is look at the label. They don't look, I hardly look at the design. They never look at the quilting. I tell you, you might care about the quilting. The people you give it to probably don't, unless they are also quilters. But the label is the number one thing that you're gifting a person. That's what they look at. So if you are not putting a label on your work, you really need to do it. You're missing out on a wonderful opportunity to share information and love to the person you're giving it to. So I'm happy. That's a cute little label for that guy. Okay, so there, those, what I need to do is stitch this. So what I'm going to do is take a break from this filming. Oh no, wait. Before I do that, before I take the break, the cross stitch. So I am to the point where I need to do the pumpkin. So I'm going to do the pumpkin and then finish out the gray. So here is the final section. Isn't this so cute? Look how cute that is. I mean, and realistically, I don't know if I can get all of the rest of that stitched by the end of July, because it'll take me all that time to apparently to do the ghost. But I think what I'm going to do is I may just go and do the vampire next, do Eddie the vampire next, and finish Glenda the Good Witch, finish the ghost, and then do the vampire, and then do the other pieces because they're small. And I feel I do better when I do small little things and get them done. That motivates me and I kind of move along a lot faster. So that is my plan. Plus, I would love to figure out how to, I have to look. I'm sure the Fat Quarter Shop has some sort of tutorial on how to finish these like this one, because I want to try that on this guy. So, all right, so there's the cross stitch info. The Fat Quarter Shop sent me a bunch of their new patterns. I thought I'd share 2 of them with you. They have a whole series, which I didn't realize. I know, I think they sent me one before, and I just somehow stuck it in the pile. But they have this series they're called Shelf Life, and they are the jars. Look how cute that is. Now I have to go dig around and look at all the other ones. I'll link you to all of them in the description box below. And Lori Holt and Fat Quarter Shop have a really cute crow. Oh my goodness. Isn't that darling? Or blackbird, however you like to think of it. So it says crows in the corn. I'm not sure what the corn part is, but maybe the colorations. It's really cute. You could even make, this one's big. What is it? 69 by 77, but you just could do like 9 by, like a 9 block, 1 3 by 3, just to get some of the crows. You could do 5 crows, 1 2 3 4 5, and do like a 9 block for cute wall hanging. Super cute. So I'll link those 2 in the description box below. And in the mail, I got from our friend Jennifer. She had this sent to me. So I'm not sure which state Jennifer lives in because she had this sent to me. But isn't this darling? She said that she got one for herself and she thought that I might like it. So sweet. Thank you, Jennifer, for thinking of me. And this is interesting because it's not the kind of cross stitch I normally do. It's printed. Let me just grab this. I've never done one like this. So this would be totally new for me. I'm trying to get this out of here. Oops, so see, it's all printed on there. See that? Like all the design is printed on there. So that I've heard of these, but I've never seen one in person. So that's really, really cool. So you do have to do full coverage. So you've got to stitch the entire thing because it's all printed and there's grid lines printed on it. So yeah, but that is very, very darling. I appreciate it so much. And it comes with the thread and everything. And so it's got all that stuff in it. Super cute. And let's see, one of our friends, when we were doing the scavenger hunt, one of our friends had this iron. It wasn't really an iron, it's pottery. And it's shaped like an iron. And I thought, my granny's pottery was like this. And so I went on eBay and I found one. So, look at this. So it's a little box shaped like an iron out of this brownstone pottery. This one had a tiny little chip in the corner, but that made it like a really reasonable price. So I thought, I don't really care. It's got history and life, and I just love it. I love it. So thank you for showing that. I forgot to keep your link to see who you were that sent it, that showed that in the Quilt Along with Pat Sloan group, but it's super cute. Okay, one other thing to show you, and then we're going to talk about the Liberty Box after. But no, let me just show you this. So I entered a contest. I never enter contests, but I was somewhere, and it was like you could win this book that's called "We'll Prescribe a Cat." And I thought, that sounds so cute. I read about it and what they're promoting the book. It's a new book. It's not actually a new book. It's a Japanese book. And in Japan, it is like by the best-selling author, and it is like the best-selling book. And so I thought, and it's just now recently just been translated into English. I thought, I need to get this book. It's a story, and it's about a clinic who, when you have something wrong, stress, anxiety, they prescribe a cat. And so I've read the first story. It goes through, I've read this much, and it goes through different people who come to the clinic and then their experience at the clinic and what their issue is and how it becomes resolved. So I read the first one, which was so delightful. I cannot even tell you how delightful this was. It reminds me a tiny bit of a little bit of an Alice in Wonderland kind of feel, as far as it's not fantasy and crazy because it's normal, but there's this element of Alice in Wonderland to me. It was kind of this element of, wow, because how quirky is it to begin with that this clinic will prescribe a cat? And the doctor's very quirky and the process is very quirky. And then the things that happen to the person as they're working through with this cat that they've been prescribed as their medicine, it's just super, super cool. The story was so fun, so it's so delightful, and I'm anxious to read the next one. So I'll link you to the book. So if you love cats, you will probably, I love animals. I've never owned a cat. My brother had a cat, so I had a little bit of experience with it, but I wasn't living at home at the time. But yeah, Smokey, his name was Smokey. So that's super cute. Okay, I'm first going to go sew this banner. And then I'm going to be done with that Halloween, except for quilting it. But I'm going to sew it up. And when I come back, we will talk about working my plan. Okay, be right back. Here we are. Look, as a banner, I've got to go all the way back. Look. It's like, well, it's not quite as tall as me. But there, it's touching the ground. So, oh my goodness, is it as tall as me? I think so. This is actually going to go perfectly in that long area between the door and the window for me. But look how sweet. Just so sweet and fun. Fun to have a banner. So now I collected some of your Eddies with their other Glenda and stars. So let's take a look. Look how cute Brenda's is. She used the kit, I believe, because that's all solids, and it's just so darling. I think there are a few kits left, so if you didn't pick one up and you love that look, you can do that. Here is Carol, our overachiever. Look how cute this turned out with her multiple ghosts and her little Eddies in there. Oh my goodness, and some blocks from prior Halloweens. Carolyn's, so look, she put a kitty in the one pumpkin. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Cindy's, darling. She has that fun stripy fabric. Look at the little gingham Eddie over there. Oh, Heather's, love it. Remember she has that herringbone, which is actually bats? Oh, this is so cute. Oh my goodness. Jan's, look at Jan's. Oh, they're just so darling. They're all so darling. Jane has a little gingham pumpkin and bats for her Eddie the vampire. Okay, I'm calling him Eddie for everybody's, whether you named yours Eddie or not. This is Karen's. I love that background with the moon. Oh, the moon and the stars. I may have had that fabric. I love that fabric. Here's a second Karen. Gorgeous. Look at the body and the hat rim. That is a really neat fabric. It's like potions and like, oh, really spooky things. Kelly's. Oh, look at the hat band and the spider web hat. Amazing. Just amazing. So much fun fabric. Linda's. Oh, she had to put fangs. Oh my goodness. Eddie with fangs. Eddie with fangs and a cupcake pajama top. Doesn't that look like his pajamas? Oh my gosh, he's running around in his pajamas and he's so darn cute. Mary's. Oh, this is so cool. Love her background between the ghost and the vampire, that background she used. And that beautiful rose in the middle. Okay, a couple more. Roseanne. Roseanne is doing... this is incredible. These are 4 different Halloween years, so you can go back and get those other years. I think they're still all free at the Fat Quarter Shop, and she said she's going to make one big project, you know, so that is just going to be so cool. Be sure you show us. Sandy's. Look at the great big candy corns and on the bag. Oh, just so cute. So darling. Sheila's. Just cute as can be. She's got a scarecrow in the middle of her star. Little Eddie there. And the last one is from Sue. And she has so many fun fabrics that she's used for the outfits. And they're just incredible. So cute. So keep sharing. They are just darling. Well, keep showing yours because I will do another parade where you've put yours together. I'll do a parade of ones that are put together. So keep sharing. Now, for my personal work plan, what I've decided to do is concentrate on this first because, you know, it's summer and it's a summer piece. So one of the big things is because I did not get the finishing kit, there's a strip on the top and the bottom of this panel that I have to pick for something. So I've got these fabrics to choose from that are from my stash, and I will film auditioning that and show it probably on Thursday. Wednesday's video might be a little busy. If it's not, it'll be tomorrow, but one or the other. And I will pick that and then get all of that cut. So that'll be my primary. That, I have the yellow squares and this web. So those are my 3 that'll kind of be on the side, with the focus being this one because I don't think it's going to take that long to do. So, okay. All right, my friend, it is time to sew your spookiness together. Kalenda and Eddie forever. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.